right.
There we go.
Bada bing, bada bing, bada
Check,
boom.
check,
bada
check.
There
boom.
it is, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, that worked. I'm just testing levels.
Did you clip? Did you clip just then? Okay, we're close.
Just under it. That's exactly where I want to be.
True professional. Yeah.
Perfect.
I've been practicing. I've been a
Corn
bit of an
could never.
inspiring.
You're going to be doing that Disturbed sound a lot, so it's important to make sure.
Well, as an
that's
aspiring metal
Disturbed,
singer.
right?
Yeah,
Was that? Are you sure that wasn't Corn?
Ooh,
Which one is Corn?
That was
That's
definitely
down with the
Disturbed.
sickness.
Yeah, which one?
Yeah.
Corn has also got a thing like that, right?
Yeah, I was a big new metal head. That's definitely Disturbed. I actually just saw Disturbed like 4 years ago. Again,
Really?
yeah, I saw them the first time when I was like 14, and then I saw them again a few years ago.
I think I was talking to a friend of the show, and I think he was imparting something that was being talked about on one of Brian Quimby's podcasts. I think the one that's called like Podcast. with a K.
As soon as we started talking about Disturbed and Corn, I started thinking of Brian.
Yes. Or maybe it was Greg Harden that was telling me. Anyway, the point
He's
is
a big
is
new metalhead.
that 100%. Yes, we talk about it frequently together. But nobody realizes like what a phenomenon Freak on the Leash was. That like, if I'm not mistaken, it had to be retired from the TRL countdown because it was on there for like 3 months and like people weren't going to let it go.
God, that's such a throwback.
And I think that was like 1998.
I have
Yeah,
no
younger
idea what
listeners are
any
like,
of
"What
these
is
words
TRL?"
mean. I don't know what
Oh,
TRL
man.
is.
You don't know what TRL is? I'm robbing the cradle over here.
What was it?
Total Request
It was
Live.
Total
it was like
Request
an MTV.
Live, yeah.
No
Oh, man.
fucking clue.
Carson
No,
Daly.
Garbage. Yeah.
Do you remember when like the Insane Clown Posse like invaded TRL? No, I'm not gonna get into
I
it.
do. I very much. That was a deep track.
Big
Yeah.
day for me
But
as
that-
an
I
Insane
mean-
Clown Posse fan, a juggalette.
I would imagine that would never happen today. That we would never see Insane Clown Posse or anything remotely like it on today.
Well, I mean, I don't think it was like MTV was like into it. I think ICP just like showed up, if I recall
Oh, really? It
correctly.
was
I
like-
was like a teenager. I don't remember it fully. It was like probably 20 fucking years ago. Jesus Christ! But they just like rolled up and they were like saying whoop whoop, and they had all the like they had like a Juggalo squad with them. What a day!
I love it.
I remember I had never heard the term juggalo until I was in college. I was at West Virginia University, and I guess Morgantown has a lot of local juggalos, right? Who like
Yeah,
hang
man.
out in the parks, like where we would go and like smoke weed. And like I remember we were on this like bridge in this park or something, and like they came up and they were like these like townies or something, and they were like pointing at this like they were like saying something about a juggalo flag. I was like, what?
Hell yeah, dude!
And they're like pointing at it. And I was like, a what? Is it the Juggalo flag? And he was like pointing at it. And it was, I guess they had it hanging up there because that was their spot or something.
Good for
But, like,
them.
I'd never heard the term Juggalo before. I was
They're
like,
good
what's this
people.
guy? Oh,
There-
no, they're
there was
wonderful.
a really big
But-
community that I was a part of in South Florida, like through my teens, and it's
Yeah.
pretty nice. Yeah.
I was like, I have never heard of this. I mean, I'd heard of ICP, but I just, I'd never heard the term Juggalo before, I guess. I don't know.
I think it was. And I'm just remembering too. I mean, a bit of a dagger thrown at us today with DMX dying, but I remember seeing like the
Prince
early
Philip,
DMX.
Prince Philip also.
Rest in peace.
Fucking rest in shit, you prick bastard.
Whoa.
Go to fucking hell.
Whoa.
I
Never heard
fuck-
Dwight talk like this before.
I feel bad. I know it feels a bit unnatural to me because, I try to omit it, but like any royal does not deserve any one bit of fucking accolade. Like, this man has never worked a day in his life, and that's why he got to live to 99.
Yeah.
So I was trying to have a nice memorial of DMX, and I just
we'll memorialize him, but like I woke up this morning and it was interesting. I saw a few people kind of like replying or like tagging the pod account, saying just like a sentiment that we've talked about frequently, and that Chris, I believe you originated, which is like they got everything they wanted. He died comfortably at 99, although he looked like he had been dead by easily
I don't think
the
he
late
was
90s.
comfortable for many years. We can take solace in that.
Didn't he have
Thank
to travel everywhere with like a refrigerator of blood when they would travel internationally? Like, I don't know if that's a
Yes,
comfortable
sir.
life.
It's just all of the royals.
Yeah.
Our good friend Guy Ferrieri, I actually don't know how to say it out loud, posted about that. He had a bit of a viral tweet. Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
These people are fucking sick, disgusting, fetid, inbred, weird leeches. on society and are revered by idiots. It's like so funny to me that it took like 200 years or 250 years or whatever from going from like being like, hey, fuck the king, to now being like, oh, the royal wedding and the royal children. And shouldn't we be sad about the death of the royal fucking racist and the disgusting man who literally Snopes had a tweet that was like, yes, he did actually say in 1998 that, if I were dead, I would want to be reincarnated as a deadly disease to kill the overpopulated people.
It was 88, which I think it actually even makes it worse in a way in the context of like AIDS in the 80s. You know what I mean?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Starting to think this guy's bad.
Yeah, cancel.
You wouldn't think it, but
we're doing it. We're canceling him.
Yeah, he's canceled.
Now that it's
DMX
safe,
isn't.
Now that it's safe.
we're all crawling out from under the rocks to cancel him.
I remember I believe the term Jeremy Clarkson, who's like, a British Tory bastard. He called Prince Philip a quote Greek racialist.
What does that? Does that mean? What does that mean?
No, he's a racist bastard.
Does he think the Greeks aren't white or something? Is it like go that?
No,
deep?
no, he is himself. Like I don't know how the fucking royal bloodlines go, but he has.
Yeah, not very
is he
far.
from a
They
Greek
don't go
royal
very
line?
far from each other. Yeah.
What is
I think
happening?
he was born in Corfu or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't matter. He's dead, and hopefully he's going to be in the ground and rotting, and there's going to be maggots coming out of his eyes.
Oh my God.
I can't. I hate him.
Look at
hate
Shane's
him.
little smile.
I can't tell if Shane is holding back something or he's just.
I'm holding
he's
back.
Okay. Is it? Well, I mean,
One down, the rest of them to go. I mean,
Okay.
that's
Okay.
that's the
I see where this is
sentiment.
going.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, it's absurd that royalty persists now. Like, the second they detonated the first atom bomb, all the royals should have just melted away. I mean, they should have been in the blast radius, but it's so weird to be in like this state with the entire preceding history of obviously the entirety of like human development, but especially the last like 150 years. It's just totally absurd, and so many of those royal houses and families just got fucking destroyed as a consequence of the World War, and it's absurd the ones that didn't, and even furthermore that there's any kind of fucking celebrity culture about them. I've utter contempt for it and the whole concept. And when there's ever like, oh, but this is one of the good royals, they're doing good things, give away all of your money and go live in a hole, and then I'll be like, fine, okay,
If you don't like, what the fuck is the point of like just formalize? I mean, granted, capitalism has formalized like having an extremely small elite not working and just living off the dividends of workers, but like just straight up making them heads of state as just like in perpetuity because of their bloodline. I mean, that's what we're headed towards anyway, given the fact that there's going to be like Andrew Cuomo running against Andrew Giuliani.
They should, you know what? Exhume Prince Philip's corpse. Let him run.
Do
Run
Weekend
him
at
for-
Bernie's with his corpse.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking more Warhammer 40,000, but just
God
plug
Emperor?
him. Yeah, just plug him into a computer chair and just run all the NFTs or whatever out of his fucking brain. That's how it works. That's how NFTs are created.
Just realized somebody's definitely going to make like a NFT of Prince Philip, maybe of that picture of him looking like the crypt keeper in the back of the car, and sell it for like $80,000 or whatever. Like for sure that's happening if it hasn't happened already.
Completely unrelated to the corpse of Prince Philip. I think I remember historically, Oliver Cromwell was exhumed and then hanged.
He was.
Which
He was.
totally. I'm saying that completely unrelated to anything that we're talking about now.
Go
I
off.
thought that was very interesting.
They did that to a pope too.
Did they?
Really?
They didn't. Hang
It was
him.
it was a pretty common thing.
Yeah,
like, yeah.
it was like in the 9th or 10th century or something, and there was one particularly nasty and corrupt pope. I mean, obviously they're all awful.
All the other ones have been good.
There was one that was like he was like a Borgias or something. He was like some part of some decadent Italian family, and he just like flagrantly, fucking defied all the things of the church and had mistresses and was like openly corrupt and stuff. And when he finally died, they dug up his corpse, exhumed him, and then put him on trial. And they held a trial of the dead pope. It was called the Cadaver Synod.
Did they have him like testify? Like, did they question the corpse? Like,
I think here's a painting of it. That's pretty good. I mean, obviously the painting was way, way, way later after this event happened, and put
it in the Discord so our producer can wonder what the fuck is going on.
It was like the new pope when he came in. It was like that last pope was pretty bad.
This would be an awesome fucking metal album cover.
I've seen this painting before in some context. I didn't realize it was like a real.
It's, probably in my closet.
Wait, where did it go? Where did you send it? Is it in this chat?
In the Discord. No, in the Discord.
Oh, I missed it.
That's wild.
It's still there.
Oh well, there's too many channels. And it's
for some reason, Shane put this in the episode research channel.
Okay, I opened my tab up. I don't know what I'm looking at either.
That's crazy.
No, that's badass. Yeah, that's super badass.
I don't know if they excommunicate. See, here's an interesting kind of philosophical question, because the Pope is infallible. So by doing the trial, was he then retroactively excommunicated and declared fallible? Although this might have been before the declaration of infallibility, because that happened that was like a decision they made. And now it's like from here on in, whatever we say is true.
No, they retroactively declared his papacy null. That's what they did.
Oh.
Yeah, because they said that he had, taken that position illegally somehow. I'm going to read about this at 4 a.m. later.
That's a lot of papal bull. That's a little Catholic joke there for you.
Yeah, he was excommunicated and all his associates. Damn, dude.
Good, fuck him. That's cancel culture.
So, like, canonically, is he, like, dead and in heaven, and then he just gets, like, pulled back, and they just, like, send him to hell?
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's like what they believe.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
that would be cool as hell.
I want to watch that movie.
Maybe that happened today to Prince Philip. Like he went up to heaven. They were like, "Psych!"
Oh boy!
Can you put in the Lil Nas going down to hell sound clip there? It's you guys don't know it's the
whole
meme
song?
of okay.
Oh yes,
no. It's
I know
like
what you're talking about. Yeah, okay.
It's him going
the stripper pole, right? Yeah. Shane is like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Trust me, the kids love it.
That is a good way to bracket my very boomer dad energy of talking about the Cadaver Pope trial for too long. It's a nice little. It's something for everyone.
Yeah.
You gotta.
That's right.
You get a little this, a little that.
This is a family-friendly show. And Shane, I think a lot about, like, in just maybe justifying a bit of my reaction to the Royals earlier. Like, I think a lot about kind of something that I learned from you, which is like, there's just some things where you need to develop like an immediate knee-jerk reaction to, like the fucking Boston Dynamic murder dogs, like immediately repulsed and want to push them into a traffic or like hit them with a baseball bat, like immediately repulsed. And like, we need to recognize that anybody that's like, like with fucking billionaires or especially with royals, which is so crazy because it's like some bloodline shit. It's like immediately you should just feel like these people do not deserve their station in life. And this entire institution should be broken down. There isn't a justification for that sort of shit. And especially the fucking British, please.
We found the thing that makes Dwight actually like curse and get upset, and it's the British.
I'm so happy, dude. I'm so
Dwight
happy about
Rhinoceros am calling for a complete and total shutdown of the United Kingdom until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
After this, I'm gonna play you some IRA fight songs. I'm gonna get you really just down to my fucking level.
Whenever you can come to Philly again, you'll just come to our house and we'll get really drunk and listen to the IRA songs that Shane loves.
I would expect nothing less. Even there was a great like a British football hooligan chant, which was like Maggie's in the mud when Margaret Thatcher died. Maggie's in the mud, in the mud, Maggie's in the mud, la 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 la, Maggie's in the mud, Maggie's in the mud, la 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 la. Yeah, fucking yeah. It's same thing. You should just be like, look, immediately. This is something that doesn't deserve any fucking shred of accolade. Of course, Joe Biden did his thing and all that, but yeah, fuck Prince Philip. Glad he's gone.
You know what I just got reminded of when you mentioned, this is a completely off topic, but when you mentioned the robot thing, you guys remember several years back when they made that like hitchhiking robot or something that like, it was like, there was this like college students or some people in Canada or something made it, and it like successfully like hitchhiked across Canada and then like also like across Europe. And then they tried to do it in the United States, and like a week into it got like destroyed and like decapitated in Philadelphia.
Good.
Which,
yes,
like,
I remember
they
that.
got the right idea. Yeah, on
How
site.
did it get destroyed,
on site,
though?
Motherfucker.
Because like what that made me think of was like the sex robots at that one like tech expo that they just like within a day were like ruined from men like fondling them and like trying to fuck them. So if it's like that scenario, maybe not what we're looking for.
No, like I think it was like actively destroyed, like out of malice, which is good.
Yeah. They
because
cut its head off.
Oh my god, they cut its arms and legs off. I'm looking at it right now.
Because like the takeaway from that, of course, was just like, see, humans will destroy everything. And then on the other side, like, who's to say that it's not sitting in your back seat and then all of a sudden its eyes glow red and it's like,
not your friend.
Annihilate.
It's not your friend.
Imagine letting this robot into your car. It happened in Philly, too, that they, like, vandalized it and threw it away. Good.
Nice.
Imagine letting this thing into your car. That's psychotic.
Rest in the fucking water.
My God. It's holding, like, a little American flag by the side of the road. I'd drive right past this.
Yeah. I'd hit it with my car.
Imagine, what kind of person picks this up? It's like, oh.
It's like, what the fuck is his name? Fucking Chevy Chase character, fucking National Lampoon.
Griswold? The Griswold?
Clark
Griswold would be like, hey, honey.
Am I the only one who's never seen any National Lampoon stuff?
I've seen it in the 90s or some bullshit.
Don't walk back.
Movies aren't good.
A vacation fan.
No movies are good.
No movies.
No movies.
I think most movies are fine.
Yeah, no, that's the right take. I would be remiss too. I don't want to. I strayed away from it. We strayed away from it, but I don't want to let it go about DMX.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember how much he wanted to beat the shit out of George Zimmerman?
Of course. So what was he? There was one particular. What was it? There's one particular.
They were gonna. He was like, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of you."
It was something else. It was even funnier the way he said it. I'm trying to look it up. I forgot.
Yeah, I think he was. I mean, if you find it, but anyway, they can't. There was going to be a boxing match, and DMX was going to obviously win,
right?
Because George Zimmerman is not a particularly.
He's a little bitch.
Yeah, thank you. See, I'm back in my shell. And DMX is, let's just say, energetic. And so DMX said he was gonna, put it all to charity if he wanted or whatever. But somebody needed to do that. I didn't know if that was going to be actionable. What I was going to finish saying.
So I found the quote I was thinking of. It was just after he's done whipping his ass, he was going to piss on his face.
Yes. It just sucks, man. I mean,
he was only 50.
Exactly.
Wow, that's sad.
Yeah, he's got young kids. And
it was last year that they did the verses with he did the verses with Snoop Dogg in July, and it was like you're listening to it and like Snoop Dogg's catalog is pretty fucking extensive, and then you listen to every song that DMX did. And it was like it's just banger after banger, and you forget how much of it how much of his catalog And "Slippin'" was just easily my favorite song of his, one of my favorite songs of all time.
Fantastic.
So rest in peace, DMX. I'm just this really fucking sucked.
Yeah.
Had like 6 hours of celebrating the death of a royal, and then this. Yep.
There's a really good interview that Adam shared earlier with the group DM in Double XL, where the interviewer is like kind of trying to bait him with like negative stuff. And I think it was, what year was it from? It was from like 2008. And like his personality just comes through so much because the interview is just like the interviewer is consistently trying to like bait him with like negative stuff. And he's just like, I don't think about that. I don't think about people that are like doing other stuff or whatever. And then my favorite part of it, I think everybody should read this. It was a really good interview. It was really compelling. Is the interviewer tells him about Barack Obama, which he wasn't aware of because he said that he like doesn't keep track of politics because like it's not going to change anything for individuals or whatever. And he's just like so surprised at Barack Obama's name, and his reaction is just like really funny and good. And everybody should just check out the interview. It's a nice interview.
That's awesome. I was also just like, I had a tab open. I think just a bit of news that wasn't really talked about enough today. I don't know. It just, maybe there was just too much going on. But fucking Biden's military budget.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, God, dude.
Nothing will fundamentally change. That was the promise.
It is the highest military budget in United States history. DoD budget of, what is it, $753 billion.
Yes. Yeah.
That is an increase over Trump's budget. Even Fox News is reporting progressives slam Biden's bloated proposed Pentagon budget. Progressive wants defense cuts while GOP wants more military spending. Yeah, of course they fucking do. But even just like, literally what can be justified? Literally, how could you justify that?
R&D.
Oh, okay.
A lot of R&D.
Yeah, the robots, the death robots.
Yeah, exactly. They're not going
to
mount fucking railguns to themselves. All right. We got to run through all the adhesives one at a time.
I wonder if the family reunification centers fall under that budget.
No, that's a totally separate discretionary budget. You know, a lot.
I actually think it might be different. That's under Department of Homeland Security.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, that makes me sick. Also, everything makes me sick.
You know, there in terms of the Pentagon's creative accounting too, right? Like they often will. Like the money that's earmarked to maintain the ongoing wars often doesn't even fall directly under the Pentagon budget. Like it doesn't fall under the Defense Department budget. It's like a separate, I forget the exact name of it. It's a, it's just a legalese accounting bullshit line that they had to create for the variety of different loopholes. But just like the amount that it costs like per day to maintain the theater of war in like Afghanistan is its like own separate cost that often is detached from these kind of proposals, right? So when you see what the Pentagon's fucking budget is, that doesn't even actually take into account all of the various tendrils of like the American military complex and the money that it's sucking up.
Well, can you put a price tag on freedom?
I think he just did.
Yes,
he literally just did. And
in fact, it was a CBO report in 2007 that the Iraq War cost approximately $6,300 per U.S. citizen. That's not taxpayer. That's not person of working age. That's per citizen. So even like children, infants, before they're even like able to work, have been burdened with $6,300 for the fucking Iraq War.
God damn it, man!
Cool.
And that was 2007, guys. That was 14 years ago. Unreal.
Weird little, just because I'm looking at a picture of the Pentagon now, and I don't remember if I've ever brought this up on the show, but it came up in a discussion me and Carrie were having a few weeks ago. Speaking of Pentagon bloat and waste and excess, when it was built, I believe the building had the record, and it may have kept the record for, it may still hold the record of the most bathrooms in any building. And the reason, of course, is all the number of bathrooms are doubled, because when the Pentagon was fucking made, it was made when the armed services were still segregated. And Carrie, you looked into this, and it was like the original design didn't account for this.
Yeah, they like called the architect. So it was actually kind of like weird because they called the architect and they were like, you need to make sure that there's enough bathrooms to have segregated bathrooms. And then so he did that. But then I don't remember if it was like during the time, like the intervening period when it was built. But either way, like you were allowed to have segregated bathrooms, but you weren't allowed to discriminate against government employees. So they never actually officially had them as segregated bathrooms. And then like some people internally, like employees, tried to put up signs to keep the bathrooms segregated. But that was technically illegal.
way.
But the bathrooms, like the extra bathrooms, are there.
Sick.
Sick world.
Sick country,
Sick.
man.
It's just rotten to to its core.
I was
Clearly
imagining like some like European like architect or whatever who like designed the building, and they're like he's like meeting with like the Defense Department or whatever, and like, well, we really like the building design, but you don't have enough bathrooms. Like, well, I do have enough bathrooms. Like, well, no, actually, you see, here.
It's just I think about that phrase a lot. I was thinking about it a lot today. The ghost in the machine of just like it will never be rid of the original sins of Native American genocide and slavery, and it will just always like I thought about this the other day, that like America is morally bankrupt, not in the sense that like oh yeah, it should this country sucks and is racist and all this shit, but like the moral liabilities outweigh the moral assets. Like the bad things that would need to be rectified by reparations is like too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like we couldn't possibly cover all of it. By the way, did you see that fucking clip from Jeopardy?
I was just thinking about
That's what
that.
I was just thinking about.
I
Yeah,
was just
Dude.
thinking about it.
Scott, off you go.
History of Potpourri, 1600.
In 2015, Congress authorized payments of $4.44 million to each of these people, $10,000 for each day of their captivity. Joe Beth?
Who are slaves?
No. Scott?
Who are Guantanamo Bay prisoners?
No.
Who
Brandon?
are Japanese internment camp survivors?
No. The correct response is the Iran hostages. Scott?
It's perfect. It could never be scripted better than that.
I mean, the really funny thing to me was that, like, somebody else pointed out, like, I think maybe whoever tweeted it or somebody who responded to it was like that in the mind of the person who responded, that it was like reparations for slavery. Like, in that person's mind, we did reparations for slavery a few years ago. Everything has been settled and like quiet about it. And, like, it's been done. So
we took care of it.
Yeah, it's over. So that was just
water
like,
under
really
the
funny.
bridge.
Yeah.
The ghost in the machine metaphor is great with the Pentagon thing, because that for me is the example that I've brought up in like classes and stuff of like how propaganda and ideology can be inscribed in things that you don't usually consider like media, right? Like a building, like just the architecture of a building, but it has like like in this case just like this obvious like fucking evil written into it, right? At its core level. And how do you rectify that? And as a question, right, since it had this weird history of like they could never really do it internally, they couldn't officially call them segregated bathrooms, but that's what they were designed to be. And so at a certain point, then when the military became desegregated, it was just like, okay, now there's just like double bathrooms. When remodeling and stuff happens in the Pentagon, as I'm sure it is, do they keep that number of bathrooms? And specifically, after 9/11, after, Cheney ordered the missile to hit after the plane, blew a hole in the side of the Pentagon, presumably just by the sheer number of bathrooms, they must have taken out a shitload of bathrooms. So then when they had to redesign and rebuild that space, were they like, well, what do we do? Do we just put all the bathrooms back?
Oh, wow.
Right.
What do we do now? Do we
I
put
wonder
up
what they did. Do we know what they did?
a memorial to the racist bathroom area?
Oh, God.
Like, who
Never
knows?
forget.
Who knows?
Jesus Christ. Well, they can afford it with this year's fucking budget.
They're actually just going to build a whole new level on top of the Pentagon. All bathrooms.
All bathrooms.
All bathrooms, baby. You can have
Yeah,
have an AD and launch a drone strike in the same room.
They're serving a lot of Fiber One cereal for breakfast in the cafeteria.
All right, how
The canteen.
many bathrooms do you guys think there are at the Pentagon?
Okay, so
there's 5 floors and 2 basement levels.
All right, so let's think about this.
How many people
Let's just-
work there? What's on a
Let's
daily
see.
basis?
That'll give it away.
I
That's
don't
a good
think
point.
it will.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think it will. Let's see.
Let's think. How big is it? It can't be more than. Let's just say a third of a mile wide. In its diameter. I'm gonna say
Let me get my structural blueprints I have of the Pentagon.
no. Let's
The
think about
area it
this.
covers is 34 acres, according to a very quick Google search.
You got to have at least 3 bathrooms per acre.
3B
think about this.
PA.
The total walking distance is 17.5 miles.
It's ridiculous. All right, let's go with. I'm gonna say there's.
He's doing
I'm gonna say
calculations
there's-
and shit.
No, he's
Yeah,
not writing. He's writing something down. I think.
This is
Yeah.
Price
Are
is
we
Right
accounting
rules.
for-
So whoever
No,
gets
I
the
was gonna
closest
ask
without
if it's
going
Price is
over.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then we should all write down.
We
our
should all
numbers.
write
Okay.
down. Okay.
Are we accounting for gendered bathrooms?
This
So
is
are
total
we
bathrooms.
doubling it?
Total
This is total
bathrooms.
bathrooms.
Every
Total
single
bathrooms.
bathroom,
Gendered, racist, just all bathrooms.
including, I'm assuming, private bathrooms and some of the, the big highfalutin offices and shit, right?
Maybe it does include that. I'm actually not sure.
I doubt they do that. A colonel takes a shit next to a private. That's just the way it goes.
Secret bathrooms. You got to include all the secret bathrooms.
I think those are secret, so they're not included in the.
Imagine how many
That is a good point.
secret bathrooms they put in there after 9/11. They
just
could secretly redesign the building. You know?
It's an MC Escher, just staircase of cascading toilets.
I got my
okay.
number.
I believe
got my
there's 2 Taco Bells or 2 Burger Kings at the Pentagon. I remember looking at
Really?
for no particular reason, I was looking at satellite imagery of the Pentagon
Right.
on their Google Maps or something, and they have I guess in their food court they have some fast food restaurants, and they had I believe 2 of one of them, either 2 Burger Kings or 2 Taco Bells or something.
Gotta have it.
Talk about a bloated defense
if
budget.
you got 2 Taco Bells, that increases the bathroom
You
need
need,
right there.
yeah, for all the
Yeah.
ass disasters. Yeah.
Okay, let's get the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music going.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely,
Yeah, let's drop it in here.
Okay.
All right, boys. Do you want to show the numbers one at a time, or do you want to all hold them up? At the same
One
time?
at a time. One at a time.
All right. What is your final answer
Shit.
on how many bathrooms there are at the Pentagon? Dwight.
Who goes first?
Okay, 145. Good
I
guess.
have an
45.
answer.
Chris. 250.
250.
Okay.
Ambitious.
Shane.
He's gonna do 251.
All right. Chris is actually the closest. It's 284 bathrooms.
No.
Not
Jesus
bad.
And
Christ.
there are a
Not
total of
bad.
23,000 employees at the Pentagon. So I don't know if that ratio is a normal ratio.
What's that?
of
What is that
bathrooms.
employee to bathroom ratio? Then?
And how many bathrooms was it?
284. So Chris is our winner today. You're a millionaire
Wonderful.
in podcast points. They're
Oh, yeah.
worthless.
The games are fake. And the prizes don't matter. That is. Let's see now.
That's a lot
That
of
is
bathrooms.
81 employees per bathroom. So if you think about
That seems low to me, honestly. But I
I mean, when they built the Pentagon, there was probably a lot less employees, if you want to put it in a different perspective. I'm sure the number of employees over time has grown. So I'm sure it
Do you
was
think
more
that
ridiculous
came-
before.
that went up the chain of command where somebody has to come up with a report to some lieutenant general and be like, well, general, you see, we've got a latrine problem. When this was originally built, and in fact, we were, now granted, people were eating a lot more unprocessed chicken at the time, as there was a shortage, and granted, there was a lot, technology has improved with E. coli technology in our beef processing plants.
No, you got to do Biden going
God.
whimsical about the number of bathrooms it had when he first went.
We got to make sure we're treating our men and women in uniform properly. Got to make sure they can take the bathroom breaks they need. You got to stay hydrated. You got to hydrate in the field. You got to hydrate behind the desk. Listen, if anybody knows about constant urination, it's me. You get the urge out of nowhere. Sometimes in the middle of the night. Sometimes in the middle of a meeting. When he retires, that's going to be his he's going to sign a contract with Depends as their brand spokesman.
God.
And that's going to be his. That's going to be his.
Strong enough.
I
for
just
a
wrote copy
president.
for him.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Pentagon food court again, and I swear they used to have a Taco Bell and a Burger King, but it looks like they may have changed it. I see they got a Dunkin'. in there. They got a Subway. They have a Popeyes. They have a CV. There's a CVS pharmacy in the Pentagon.
That's so bleak, dude.
Isn't
it's
it?
so
imagine
fucking
like
bleak.
working. Imagine just like being an employee, like a worker at the Pentagon Subway.
Yeah.
know?
You probably have to go
Do you
through
need,
like
like-
4 hours of fucking security in and out every day.
Unpaid.
Yeah.
Unpaid.
Yeah. It's like the people who work the places at airports.
There's a Forever 21 in the Pentagon?
No.
There's a Sephora in the Pentagon?
Don't forget who owns Forever 21. That's Lee Wexner, famous
fuck.
financier of Jeffrey Epstein.
There's a Baskin Robbins.
What is happening here?
There's a Baskin Robbins in the Pentagon. Yeah.
Is it just a playpen? Is it just a fucking? Is there like an area in the middle that's like a mini carnival like they have in malls?
Is this like a thing that's like open to the public? The Pentagon City Mall? Is that what it is? Or
there
is
must
it...
be a tourist area.
No,
right,
there is
for
something.
people?
Yeah, there's something else. There literally is like an outlet mall, like right like across the highway from the Pentagon. But
I
I'm talking
think
about,
that's
like,
what I'm looking at. Okay.
Yeah, within the actual building of the Pentagon, they have these things. I can like picture the area really distinctly. I have this. I've like shared it on the show before, but I have this like very distinct memory of like the weekend after 9/11, I believe, like driving up to DC with my parents to like go gawk at the Pentagon. And like now that I think back on it, I'm like really grateful for the chance to have seen the Pentagon smoldering. It's pretty cool. Like now that I think back on it, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
Yeah, well,
Yes,
it's a
dude.
historical moment that you're able to be present for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awe-inspiring.
You really feel
Inspiring is the key word.
And you can see, you can see like across the Potomac, it's called the United States Air Force Memorial, which are like, these.
Is that the
supposed
plane
to be-
coming into the building?
Well, kind of. I mean, not as such, but it's like supposed to be some sort of like formation where like three planes, do a climb together and then,
Okay, right.
pull off or whatever. But like it just looks to me like when you look across the Potomac over, to Virginia where the Pentagon is, just like the devil's claws just coming out of the earth to be like, yes, this is where I work.
yeah.
My bidding is done. Okay, here's another bathroom question.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
At some point, right, like the president has to go to the Pentagon under certain circumstances. Is there a special bathroom just for the president to use? And if that's the case, does that mean that it's off limits for everyone else? And if that's the case, do people sneak into the presidential bathroom at the Pentagon to take a shit?
What if you
like
have an
how guarded
emergency?
is it? Yeah, right. Maybe it's an accident. Maybe you didn't even know.
Do you think there's a guy whose job it is to just like guard that bathroom?
Maybe.
Probably.
I'm imagining like the guy at the tomb of the unknown soldier. All day guarding the president's bathroom. They have a changing of the guard and everything.
Oh God!
I bet Lyndon Johnson would have been like, "Oh hell, I'll just use what everybody else uses."
He's shitting in a bush.
Hey,
outside of
listen,
the
when I gotta
Pentagon.
Fully naked.
I gotta have,
Yeah,
no, I take off all my clothes to go squeeze out a cigar.
that's one of the. I'm like really fascinated by the stories like that about Lyndon Johnson. But like my favorite one is I heard it like I believe it was Cy Hirsch told the story on Jeremy Scahill's podcast about like. I don't think it was him. I think it was like another journalist friend of his who was like down at like LBJ's ranch or something. And like Johnson like pulls up in his car that he's like driving and he like tells the guy to get in. He's like giving him like a ride around his ranch. And then he just pulls over on the side of the road and just gets out and like within full view of this journalist just goes behind a bush and crouches down and takes a shit and wipes his ass with leaves. And gets back in the car.
Fucking Philistine. Jesus Christ. It was a different time. That was can you imagine a head of state doing that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I can't imagine Lyndon. They get tracks with everything else I know about Lyndon Johnson.
Imagine like a sundowning Biden getting confused about where to go potty.
You gotta
Easily
go,
imagine that.
I need help. I need help. I keep my life alert in my inside. I had my tailor sew in a life alert in the inside breast pocket. Help!
You gotta do I've fallen and I can't get up.
I'm falling and I can't get up.
Oh, I just hate him so much.
I'm falling down. I see my father. I have a lot of regrets. I didn't get to take Susie Ann to the to the springtime debutante. I didn't get to take Carol Ann to the Enchantment Under the Sea dance.
I saw my hand disappearing from the picture. I knew I had to play the song good.
I always loved Chuck Berry. My God, I'm fucking sweating.
Me too.
It's because I'm microdosing
Lord.
whiskey.
I've got my measured 2 ounces of rum.
Jesus,
Hell
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be microdosing this little bit of whiskey I have here. Need to get through it. I mean, I can't let go the last Biden thing that fucking chapped me today. It's like every day. I think he's out at this. This is where I'm going to start to like really lose my fucking marbles, because I'm like, I think he's trying to hurt me individually with like the things. But what he came out with today, fucking incredible. Biden forms panel to study possible U.S. Supreme Court expansion. President Joe Biden on Friday formed a bipartisan commission
It's got to be fair.
to study potential U.S. Supreme Court changes, including expanding the number of justices beyond the current 9, a goal of some liberal Democrats hoping to end its conservative majority. When you create a panel or an investigative committee, that's where initiatives go to die. That just means that you don't actually give a shit about the thing. You're not willing to take any action. And the fact that it's bipartisan, what the fuck? Of course he doesn't want to expand it. The whole point of doing this move is to make a gesture to say, like, we're looking into it. But of course, nothing is going to come out of this. He's not going to expand the Supreme Court. We're going to have a 6-3 conservative majority until we're fucking dead. Because Trump has put in like these bloodless fucking vampiric creatures in the court.
Did you see Justice Breyer came out and said like he was like warning against packing the court. It said like think long and hard about the possible consequences of this.
Oh, buddy, trust me, we have.
You're like 1,000 years old. Like, I don't know.
And he's going to do the Ginsburg move where he's not going to retire. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was born, he's 82.
Yeah.
He was born in the Great Depression. And he's going to be the one that like challenges, climate change initiatives and shit. Like, what the fuck? This guy was a Democrat. Oh, but maybe he was a Democrat in like 52.
He's an old-fashioned Democrat. Yeah.
The Democrats are the real racists. Shane, that was quick. Yeah, very bleak. Very fucking bleak. Okay, if you really want to be fucking sadder, the Amazon warehouse union vote. Look, it's won. And it was a very fucking public vote. And I have never been lucky enough to be able to be a union member, although there were plenty in my family. And it's just odd to me. Like, as I understand it, typically these things tend to go better where there's a little bit of secrecy around it. I mean, this was a very fucking public display with an enormous amount of pressure, and God knows what the fuck was going on. It's just an overwhelming propagandistic arm of one of the largest mega corporations in the world. Yeah. So I guess on the face of it, it's like not entirely surprising, but it would have been fucking nice to have a little bit more David instead of Goliath. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not exactly. I don't know. I didn't get the sense of Birmingham being a traditionally union town. Maybe I'm wrong, but I just didn't really see a lot of that. But I did hear more chatter in reference to the Amazon warehouse in Chicago, where there's definitely more of a union presence. So fucking here's to hoping that goes through. But it's just like it pisses you off, and it's extremely bleak when you feel like this could have fucking been an inflection point that turned the shit on its head. Of course. And now you want to see that happen. You want to see us have a fucking win, but it just wasn't in the cards this week.
Yeah.
When we were watching the other night, when seeing like the tallies come in, when it was just like a few hundred votes had come in, I was like, oh shit, this is not looking good. When the no's were like 2-1 to the yeses. So not what we thought it was going to be, to say the least.
Maybe for a little bit of levity, we have now taken in the little side chat of the Zoom meeting to referring to bathroom breaks as going to the Pentagon.
Yeah, I see Dwight's made the trip.
Yeah, he made a little trip to the Pentagon too. Yeah,
I just got back from the Pentagon.
Yeah,
feel better.
Yeah, just flew into the Pentagon. Boy, are my arms tired.
Oh,
okay,
no.
here's another one.
All right.
Here's another little brain teaser.
All right, let's do it.
The sewage from all of the toilets in the Pentagon has to go somewhere. I mean, you were joking before, some kind of, I don't know, does it just go into the whatever the public system is in DC? Or,
I would think so.
But here's the question, right? If there's so many other security checks around it, wouldn't there be a thought, like there could be a plot, especially in that post 9/11 era, like that somebody could do something through the toilets? Does it have its own, like, I don't know what it's called, feed out system? Like, where does the shit go?
Yeah, I mean,
Where
to be
does
super
the
clear,
shit go?
I am not Googling that.
I'm already Googling it and I can't.
Oh,
Where does Pentagon shit go now? Yahoo
good
answers.
luck finding me. I'm hidden behind 8 VPNs.
I did read that the Pentagon's food court got hacked while we were talking about that, and I was Googling it.
What?
So
How
who
did the
knows?
food court
Maybe
get
they're like they hacked like the point of sale system. So
I ordered a chalupa and I got a quesadilla.
$753 billion and they don't even get the food for fucking free?
I guess not.
No,
I
of
guess
course not.
Fuck
No.
that. Oh, that is so sick.
Oh, they do. They have it. They do have a Chipotle in there, or at least they used to. They have a. I see a picture now of a Chipotle, the Pentagon Chipotle, the Pentagon Taco Bell, the Pentagon Panda Express.
Do they have a Fazoli's?
Ooh, the orange chicken.
Before 9/11, they did.
It was the only restaurant to shut down on 9/10.
I mean, yeah, that I would hate to be, at the receiving end of that sewage treatment plant, because, of course, everybody that works there, their souls are putrid.
Yeah.
And so I would imagine, it's especially.
It's just like the river.
It's just a pipe directly to hell that feeds
It's the
Moloch and Baphomet. And,
it's the slime from Ghostbusters 2. It's just like pure concentrated evil.
Okay, I found it. They have a sewage treatment plant, and they also have a heating and refrigeration unit, and each of those covers 1 acre. So they have a 1 acre sewage treatment plant.
This feels illegal to know.
Yeah,
It's on
I was just thinking about that. I was like, I was all like Googling like
This feels
Pentagon
illegal to know.
sewage system, Pentagon
Somebody's
blueprint,
gonna show up at our
Pentagon
carpet.
AC,
We have-
HVAC system.
We have passion and interest in municipal wastewater systems.
I just want to know about the shit.
Unironically, I do.
The doo-doo. That's my interest.
We've talked before on this program about how Canal Street in Manhattan used to be a river of shit going into the Hudson River. So this is just a continuance of our discussion on wastewater treatment systems in history in the East Coast of the United States. Not unreasonable for us to talk about.
Yeah.
Hey man, somebody's
It's
got to
normal.
design it. Somebody's got to think about this. This is a legitimate like security insanity thing that somebody has to sit down. They have to go through meetings. They have to discuss all that kind of like weird like point of entry, whatever bullshit about like where you go doo-doo.
Yeah.
I've commissioned the Army Corps of Engineers to do a bipartisan study. The Potomac can't handle the eutrophication any longer. Listen, I'm happy for our brave men and women in uniform to do their business. We're going to do it in a way that's green. Much like the color of their excrement. Listen, you think I've got Secret Service chasing Major around? I know a thing or two about cleaning up in the Rose Garden.
You want to cut out spending? Cut out the middleman. Get a bag. I got one. You slap it on.
Reuse the plastic bags you get from Publix.
Waste not, want not.
I spent 35 years going to Costco in Silver Spring every Sunday. And every Sunday afternoon, I was chasing around Major with said items.
Is Major the one that keeps biting people?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's literally an attack dog.
I feel bad for the poor dog.
Good for him. No, good for him though.
I mean, yeah, good for the dog. I hope he gets away with it. So,
Major's retired. We've replaced him with another German Shepherd named Blondie. If you don't know, just Google it.
You could wrap it up with the rule of threes. Who do you want the third person to die to be?
Oh, great question.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm going to answer.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Me. I mean, I don't know why the Lord won't take me now.
No. Shano has been cursed to be on this earthly plane for as long as necessary.
I'm going to be like 99 carrying around not a refrigerator because I won't be able to afford it, but just like a bucket of blood.
Just a Ziploc bag.
Just dragging it in a little red wagon behind me. Just open air. Going around.
Flies.
Yeah. You kids think this World War IV is interesting. Wait till you hear about the first one. The original was better. These are all derivative.
I
don't know why that's my old man voice version of me. I
sound like Peter Falk. Somebody, I forgot. I wish I could credit them, but I forgot who tweeted this. But they tweeted something like the reason he died was because the palace ran out of Transylvanian soil to bury him in. All right, folks.
All right.
We good?
Yeah.
Till next week.
Yeah, I gotta go take another Pentagon.
Yeah.
Go get it, man. Get it all out. All right, folks. Stay cool.
Good night.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
A job that you truly despise, like I don't know, maybe dishwashing or fucking flipping fries. And you got this boss who think he the Don Mega because he the head manager, cheap Kelly Frymaker. All you can vision is y'all beating him down, your homie standing on his back while you're kicking his head around. But responsibility is there, I can't lie though. I'd have been plucked his fucking eyeball out with a chicken bone. I'm crazy as fuck, I'll rip your piercings off, and now my homies are holding me back so I don't look soft. When you snuck the cover, who did you get it? And when you got color, who'd you blame this shit? Who can you relax around and scratch your balls? Homies